Dig away, you physicist.
You psycho.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Austin Avenue. We're glad you're here. Oh, Austin Avenue, Clark Corner. To my right, your left is the beautiful, my right, your left. Dyslexia, we're here for you. Challen, my sister and personal friend. On my left, your right, Gareth in the do-rag? Not sure.
It's a bandana.
The bandana. All jokes aside, we're glad you're here. Thank you for watching. And of course, I am Austin. Woo! Hope you had a great week. As I'm sitting here, there's a voice I hear. It's calling to me on the wind. No, it's not Sauron.
Saruman was the one that made.
Did I say Saruman?
You said Sauron.
I have. Oh gosh, this is great.
Your
This is
Lord
grievous.
Of the Rings reference is right.
This is grievous because I am a really big Lord of the Rings fan. So
Saruman was the foul voice on the wind.
yes, foul voice on the wind. Saruman, not Sauron. That's the I.
Looking guy, right?
Christopher Lee. He's the guy. He's the other white wizard. Well, the white wizard.
Well, both the wizards
But-
are white.
Well,
The voice on the wind says coffee, and we will answer. Gareth,
oh, I haven't introduced
what
the
can
coffee.
you tell us about this week's coffee?
We're going in a different direction. A very I guess I don't want to say commoner's direction, but
We are controversial this week.
what was the term you used?
A plebeian?
No.
Oh.
The working man's
The
coffee.
working man's coffee.
The working man's coffee. Even though I don't know if this would be that.
And the only
That's
person working among us
cheap-
is actually
a
you.
cheap girl's coffee.
I have a confession to make. I actually really enjoy gas station black coffee and like black McDonald's coffee. I don't know why, but it just has a little place in my heart. It's not because it's like, wow, this is amazing coffee. It just feels so like, I don't
Well, as
know,
a
it just
missionary,
feels
you're a
good.
man of the people, so maybe it's...
If you can't read it from there, it is McCafe Salted Caramel Mocha. But as opposed to the other beans that we've had in the past, where we have had the flavor notes that are from either it's from the bean or how they're grown or how they're roasted or how they're processed. All the flavor that when they say salted caramel mocha is not coming from the bean. They just grabbed a bunch of beans from somewhere. Coffee beans, I would hope. And they actually infused it with flavored oils, so that's where you're going to have those flavors.
Is that how they do that?
Yes, I had to look that up.
I didn't know that.
When
oils.
they put the beans in the oil, in flavoring oils, and that's how they get the more salted caramelly mocha flavors, I guess.
The beans soak.
Yes.
How artificial are the flavors? I wonder.
We're about to find out how artificial
I'm
they
excited.
taste.
New things. Here we go.
So we just made it in a normal auto drip. So nothing fancy.
Mr. Coffee.
A Mr. Coffee.
We're remaining loyal to the coffee of the people vibe here.
Did you want more, Austin?
Nope. It's late in the day. I don't need to be up all night. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
You don't gargle coffee.
Keep in your lane. Stay in your lane.
The coffee
Sorry.
lane is my lane.
Touche. This tastes to me, obviously I can both hear, taste, and smell the different notes that are just happening. But it's also very, woo!
That's something right there.
Sometimes you just can't big body. I do feel I sense and feel a big, sorry, someone just ran by the window. Big body, full body.
I don't even taste the salted caramel mocha. It just tastes like chemicals to me.
It
Spoken like a true aristocrat.
It's more burnt. A lot of caramel flavors are going to be on the burnt side because when you actually roast beans without any oils already in them, the longer you roast them or the darker you roast them generally, the more those caramel flavors are going to come out naturally. So for me, it tastes a little burnt. That may be what's coming from the caramel flavors they're trying to infuse into it. The most you get you can tell the flavors they put into it is when you smell it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess it works for them when they're like, people drive by McDonald's, are like, it smells great. I don't mind it really. Like I said, I kind of have a soft place for like gas station and McDonald's black coffee that comes in one of those little cups and you're driving along. Like, maybe.
You're driving with 2 cups in your hand?
For some reason, I was holding my cup with the other hand. I would normally hold it like this and then put it in the cup holder. But I don't mind it. Wheel. I don't really get so much the salted caramel flavors as much. There's definitely something there, but I can't really say, wow, they nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me it's a more bitter caramelly taste, for sure. That's what I'm getting.
I wonder if they use these beans to make their caramel coffee drinks.
Possible.
Those drinks are about 95%
Sugar?
milk.
Oh.
And 4% syrup and 1% coffee.
Ooh.
We are neither sponsored nor have any connection to McDonald's, and so she doesn't really know that, and this was not sponsored by Knackers. So,
Mecas.
shall we vote?
Yes.
Shall we vote? Let me try not to be Australian because I watch a lot of Bluey these days. Let's first hear the vote from you.
For me, it's actually a yes just because for what it is, I don't mind it. It has that soft place in my heart. So, it's actually a yes for me. Even though the quality isn't like, wow, this is amazing coffee. It's like, oh, it's doing the job of coffee. Tastes like coffee, doesn't taste terrible.
In a rather upsetting turn of events, I'm voting no. For me, this coffee is not going to Vegas or Hollywood or whatever they go after they do the local things. I do like salted caramel lattes, but maybe just because the sweetness isn't there for me in this black coffee, it's not ideal.
I'm not even on the same train that Gareth is on. I don't think it tastes like coffee at all. And I just think it tastes like completely fake. And burnt and chemically with a hint of whatever flavoring they were getting at, but it's a thumbs down for me.
Wow, the coffee person, the person that managed the coffee part of this,
The coffee amatorado,
there we go, is the only one that accepts McDonald's, but I think that is because of the sauce part.
personal.
The memes.
Thank you, coffee. You're here. It's time to move into one of my favorite segments and yours, where we give Dr. Gregory the shovel and say, here's my soul, dig away, you physicist.
You psycho.
You...
Oh, poor Gregory.
Without further ado, as always, let's knock on the door and get that man a-digging. Dr. Gregory, welcome back. Here's the soul shovel of our lives. Take, dig. We have your favorite tool of psychology here.
All right, let's take a look at it, shall we?
Yes, let's.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
All right, let's see. What song represents your life and why?
That
Okay.
is a...
Like our whole lives?
Well, maybe let's just narrow it down to a part.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I'm not as nearly as educated as the physicist, Dr. Gregory, but I do... let's narrow it down to maybe a part, a scene, a moment in our lives, and let's go with that.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
I have one.
I don't think the lassie wants to go.
Don't keep saying glass, please.
Gareth?
Yeah, I will go. I actually didn't start really listening to music till I was a little bit older, already like a sophomore or junior in high school, so my music knowledge isn't as deep as others. But one of the songs that actually kind of got me to realize that music is good was Hey Brother by Avicii.
I remember that phase.
Yes. And the specific moment that I think of when I think of that song, as I listened to it a lot, obviously it was a song I really enjoyed, is actually right before I left to do a 6-month program in Australia, and me and my one of my really good friends, Andrew, we were just hanging out before I left, and we were and I drove to take him home because it'd been pretty late at night, and I think I'd picked him up, and we like hung out for a bit. And that song was the one that played on the radio, and it was really cool because like we turned on the radio, and as we're driving back, like saying goodbye, it's like, "Hey brother," not the lyrics because I've forgotten them, but it just.
There's an endless world to rediscover, which is very fitting for
somebody.
Yes,
knows
and it was
music.
just kind of a sweet moment because I was like, oh, it's like I have to say goodbye to my brother here. Not you. But it was just a really touching moment and really cool that song was a part of it. And I think sums it up well.
That is
Sweet.
a good story.
Thank you.
I can go. Mine's a little bit emotional as well. When I was in middle school, our Bible study leader for just, I think, only 2 years was very sweet, and she really understood just middle school girls. And so she had us all, like, sit down. This sounds a little bit creepy, but it was great. Sit down, like, in different parts of the room so we weren't going to talk to no one, and just, like, close your eyes and listen to the song Beautiful by Mercy Me. And it's a very, like, self-worth, self-identity in Christ, saying over and over again that you're beautiful and loved and worthy. And that song, although that was the first time I'd heard it then, in that moment, and I didn't have an emotional tie to it. In that moment, I listened to it over and over again throughout different, just feeling not beautiful and not worthy and not loved, especially in middle school. There's a lot of moments like that, and I was a chubby middle schooler, so I didn't feel great all the time, and so that song was just a really beautiful reminder of the truth that is God's love for us. Yeah.
Wow, that made me feel something. Thank you. Wow. Well, now that we're on the emotional train, might as well just continue on. I think one song that speaks to a time or a moment or like some moments in my life was, for a really long time, I was really, really into this girl that I knew a long time ago. And we were friends. We continued friends. I don't know where my life is going, and so I hesitate to really fully say this song represents it because, well, you'll see in a second. But like, as it came to a point where we had to part ways and we really just could not really be friends anymore. But and the thing that came to my mind as I look back on that moment where we had to part ways, and it was really sad because we were really good friends as well. And even though it didn't really like work out, was I guess this is the title, the Nevermind, I'll Find Someone Like You song from Adele, which is the Nevermind, I'll Find Someone Like You, that song. And as I said, I don't know where my life is going, but it was the way that she really emotionally sings about the I heard that you settled, and just kind of recollecting on something that had been and mourning that without necessarily having to be weepy mourning, like mourning that moment had been there and now was gone, and you didn't have to hate the person or you didn't have to be angry at them, but you can just kind of mourn that moment. So that's kind of a song that was really meaningful to that part, and still is, of this kind of, I can mourn that moment, I can mourn that relationship, and I still do. and I don't have to be angry at that person, and I don't have to hate that person. I don't have to, be blaming her for anything. So, anyway, woo, that was... Somebody lift the emotional ceiling. Dr. Gregory... Wow, there's so much to say. Dr. Gregory, thank you for being here. You've really done marvels today. I think you've pulled something out of us that maybe we didn't even know was there. Who knows? Dr. Gregory, if any time I could say this, this would be the most true. You can walk away proud. Walk away proud. As we wrap up our time here on Austin Avenue, as we like to leave you with a word of encouragement, and it's back to my turn, so I'm going to bring that to you today. My word of encouragement for you guys is reach, or reaching, and I was reflecting on reaching and wanting that to be the word because of some things that have recently happened in my own life. As many of us reflect on things to tell other people, those come from our own experiences. And the first was a friend that Gareth and I actually met on an online event that was going on where a lot of people were coming together online, and this dear older woman was in the group with us, and I just got this sense that I wanted to befriend her. And I do not turn glory on myself at all. I'm a believer in that the Holy Spirit moves. So please do not hear me tooting my own horn.
Toot, toot.
By all means, it was not my own self just kind of wanting to be a saint. But reaching towards her, being the hands and feet of Christ, what I am not, but that Christ can be, was really neat. She and I met up and went on a walk, the 6 foot apart, and just got to talk. And so that experience of being able to, in that moment, feel this asking of the Spirit to reach towards her was really cool. And it made it feel like, again, I wasn't throwing away this time of quarantine, that it was being used. And I was so thankful for that. And something I want to encourage you with, as it comes from the word of the Lord, is from Matthew 8, verse kind of like 1 and 2. Matthew, from the Bible, a book in the Bible in the New Testament, and it says, when he came down, this is Jesus, when Jesus came from the mountain, great crowds followed him, and behold, a leper, a leper person who was covered in sores and sickness came to him and knelt before him, saying, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. And Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him. Some translations say, reached out his hand and touched him, saying, I will be clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. So my encouraging word for you is, as Jesus originally walked on the planet and reached toward everyone, reached towards the Pharisees and the hypocrites by convicting them and calling them into question, but then also reaching toward the lowest of the low people and those who are sick and disgusting, and was willing to reach toward them and physically touch them. I encourage you all to also reach towards others. And as I said, as that has played out in my own life, I pray that it will continue. I am saying this 100% to myself as well. I hope it doesn't sound like a preach. And so that is my encouraging word, is reach. Everyone, boys, men, and sirs, ladies, women,
and
girls, everyone out there, stay great. And thank you for watching. Share with your friends. I hope you enjoyed it. We will see you next week on Austin Avenue, Clark Corner.
Clark Corner.